Hey everybody, Nerikull here, and I'm going to try something I haven't done before. I'm going to watch, review, and critique a music video. One that's actually been blowing up the last couple of days. It's Sunday the 6th of June, 2021, and last Friday, Tom MacDonald, who has just been blowing up the internet like nobody has in a while, dropped this new track called Snowflakes. Right off the bat, I heard the name and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be fun. So yeah, I've seen the video a few times. I've been listening to the song a lot, and like most of his work so far, I mean, it is entertaining. There's a lot I can say I love about it, but the one thing I really love about his work, is it makes you think. And anybody who can come up with some awesome music, great videos, and lyrics that actually make you sit and say, hold on a second, I hadn't really realized it. So, um, without further ado, this is Tom MacDonald, Snowflakes.
If you lie to the government, they'll put you in prison. But when they lie to all of us, it's called being a politician. You think taking guns away will save our kids from the killings? But you're pro-choice, abortion kills way more children. If America's so terrible and racist, it probably isn't safe to encourage immigration. Just saying, all the contradictions are embarrassing. You know who hates America the most? Americans.
Okay, gonna break here and hit a few key points. That first thing about, if you lie to the government, then you're a criminal, but if the government lies to you, well, you're a politician. Not necessarily a new concept. I mean, the joke's been told generations. So, but it still holds true. The juxtaposition of gun control and abortion. Yeah, I'm pro-choice on certain conditions. Okay, like if there is, you know, grave health concerns for either the fetus, the mother, or both. If it's in the case of incest, or if it's in the case of rape, doubly so if they've caught the rapist. I do not believe in, whoopsie, I had sex with somebody and I got pregnant, time to go to the abortion clinic. No. Okay. Abortion on demand. No. It's like one of those. It's like one of those kind of controversial things. There was some special that aired on TV a few years ago about what if, it was a what if sort of story. What if being gay was genetic and could be detected, in the unborn, fetus? That puts a lot of moral and ethical questions there. Is, do you just do you terminate the pregnancy simply because of that? If it was something more serious that would severely impair the quality of life, or for that matter, also the longevity of the fetus, if it was one of these genetic, things that the best bet is they're going to live maybe 12 years or whatever, or they might not be able to walk, they might not be able to communicate, or whatever the situation. So that goes to me under quality of life, and it's like, what kind of what kind of life is that? That's not living, that's existing. That's just the way I see it. But again, Tom is just, he's putting his view out there, and I respect that. I do respect that a lot. I can't talk smack about him for saying that. So I gotta go back just a tiny bit because I forgot where I was.
encourage immigration. Just saying, all the contradictions are embarrassing. You know who hates America the most? Americans.
Okay, that's what it was. Who hates America most? We always get bombarded from the news of protests in other countries, and these big protests, like usually the Middle Eastern countries, or the Eastern, back when I was growing up, the communist countries, USSR, and all that, and China, and we would see these videos of them, it's all chanting, death to America, death to the USA, death to the USA. What wasn't spoken was they were not saying go out there, we want to go out there, we want to kill Americans. I don't know. There might be a few that were that crazy, but the vast majority of what they meant was the culture, the governments, But this case, we're talking about Americans who are doing things like the insurrection attempt, January 6th, 2021, and those were all Americans. Those were all Americans who were rushing Congress, okay? So you tell me who hates America more. Seems like it's less a problem from without, it's more of a problem from within. And Tom is saying that, and I agree with him. Definitely. You'll get no argument from me on that, Tom. Moving along.
Trigger warnings used to be on TV for seizures, and now they're everywhere to protect millennials' feelings. He, she, his, him, hers, them, they. Screw a pronoun, cause everyone's a retard these days. I hear him preaching at the protest that hatred's the problem, but hating straight men, white folks, and Christians is common. Coca-Cola telling people they should be less white. They preach intolerance, but if you disagree, they fight.
Okay. Another big chunk to digest. So, let's take it backwards. Coca-Cola telling people to be less white? I am going to have to look this one up because that's something new. I haven't heard that one. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll go further back. This bit when he's talking about protests and a lot of the things that are coming out of these protests, like saying that the main targets are white male Christians. Just speaking for myself, I'm agnostic. I don't follow any particular religion. And I don't hate Christians. God Lord, I know so many Christians. And they're awesome people. They're great people. Love them like brothers and sisters, even though I'm not religious. And they actually respect my, being non-religious. The Christians that I have issues with are these, powerful ones you always see on TV, or there's always some news blurb about they'll say something just absolutely insane. This is a case where that sort of thing seems to be more aimed at the far right. But yeah, I mean the extreme far left is just as guilty, because it's like, the whole white male thing, there's you get hated on that way too. Thankfully I've never had it happen to me, but talk about anyways. Lost my track. So moving along.
to be less white. They preach intolerance, but if you disagree, they fight. There's a race war here, elections based on fear. Black lives only matter once every 4 years. Soldiers died for this country and every one of us benefits. Give welfare to the bums and forget about the veterans. Black folks and white folks divided by the news, but we are all the same. We are red, white, and blue. Ashamed to be American? Okay, that's cool. Cause honestly, we are all ashamed of you too.
It's okay, yeah. Gotta agree with you on that one. I've always felt that military veterans have, for quite a long time, quite a few decades, it's just, you know, the amount of money the government's throwing at programs to help veterans has just been shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And, you know, and yeah, there are people who are gaming the system, you know, and it's like they actually don't have anything wrong with them. They just don't want, you know, it's like, but somehow they manage to get, you know, money from the government. And, you know, I do. I appreciate the veterans. I made an attempt to join the military. This is before I, you know, came out even to myself. You know, because when I went in, it was still, you know, no gay is allowed. So, you know, I had to throw myself even further in the closet. But I gave it a shot. I may have only lasted 10.5 months, but damn it, I tried, which is more than I can say for a lot of people. But yeah, I agree with you 100%, Tom. The veterans should come first. They should get taken care of first and foremost. Moving along.
Ashamed of you too.
Y'all are so fake. Oh no. The forecast said that there'd be snowflakes. Whoa. You can make us see it your way. No way. Gasoline and propane. More flames. Oh no. No more snowflakes.
They set us up to fail, that's what they built the system for. Put an ammunition shop across the street from a liquor store.
So, there were like 1 or 2 reviewers that I watched their videos on this song, and they asked an interesting question. So, okay, if these people, you know, you get these people, the rich and powerful ones and everything like that, and this is how they set up the system. They set up the system to, you know, for failure. How are they succeeding? Well, of course they're succeeding. They designed it. They designed it so that, you know, it just basically slowly shrinks the middle class and makes it more difficult to achieve that. Try to keep as many people in the lower class as possible, and then to just dick them over by giving them some BS story about minimum wage when, you know, a little bit of searching on the internet can tell you what the minimum wage was intended for. And why it is a crying shame that the minimum wage is, what is it now? $7.25, $7.25, you know, an hour. And then of course the whole thing with people whose income depends largely on tips. All right, that's a crying shame. That is a crying shame. Because those people bust their butts, and there are a lot of people out there, cheap as hell, won't even tip them. And these are American citizens. I'm not talking about, you know, people from other countries who actually pay their people living wages. I'm starting to rant again. But yeah. I just wanted to put that point there. Is that, yeah, the system, it has been designed now for failure, for our failure.
Empowering women used to be different than this before. The role models got OnlyFans or dance on a stripper pole. Screw it, I ain't tripping, I don't mean to be mean, but if our children are the future, then our future is bleak. They take an Adderall to focus, hit McDonald's to eat. They're addicted to phones and they take Xanax to sleep. They blurred the lines dividing communism and democracy. In 2021, we paint the patriots as Nazis. The men playing women's sports get trophies for winning. Like, great, let's celebrate a man for beating some women. If you're black, your life matters, you're supposed to embrace it. If you're rich or you're smart, then you're probably Asian. If you're gay, then you're brave, all of that I'm okay with. But if you're white, the stereotype is you are a racist. Blaming capitalism like that's the reason things are tough. While you tweet from an iPhone and sip on a Starbucks. You're supporting what you stand against, you don't think you are, but a Percocet addict don't donate money to pharma.
Okay, so run back just a little bit. Okay. And I absolutely, I mean, in a way, it is, yeah, I see where you're coming from, Tom. You're basically saying there's a lot of people that poor mouth and, you know, the system and the, you know, everything in their life sucks and blah, blah, blah. While they're sitting there on the newest version, they're using the newest version of the iPhone and drinking coffee or whatever from Starbucks. Myself, personally, I don't like Starbucks. And don't even get me started on a rant about Apple and why I don't like Apple. I'll just leave it at that. The stereotypes thing. Yeah, that's there. Yeah, stereotypes are pretty much all there. Although I personally do not believe that, you know, I'm brave for coming out as gay. Something I did, you know, almost 30 years ago. My predecessors are the brave ones. They're the ones who paved the way, fought hardest. There were casualties. They're the ones that railed against the Reagan administration, which had constantly refused to acknowledge that there was, you know, a problem. The whole thing with HIV and AIDS. They fought. They fought and they rallied to have that, you know, have the government acknowledge that there was a problem there. They also, I don't know if, you know, my couple of tweets or whatever was actually any kind of act of bravery or whatever when it came to marriage equality. But once again, there were a lot of people out there that fought for it. Maybe that was brave of them. And my late spouse, who passed away about a year and a half ago, you know, we got married. It wasn't a big deal. We didn't make it a big deal, namely because at this point of at that point in life, we were like, don't need any more complications. It was me and him and my parents. That made it all the more special for me because my parents actually got to see all their kids married off. So yeah, I get what you're saying, Tom. I absolutely do get what you're saying. I've never actually been accused of being a racist. I don't know. But you know, political incorrectness and a bunch of stuff doesn't really bother me too badly. Moving along.
Damn, dog, we're all afraid to speak the truth. And the more afraid we get, the more we hate the ones who do. You're ashamed to be American? Okay, that's cool. Because honestly, we are all ashamed of you too.
Okay, I got a break for this one. The whole thing about, yeah, there are people who are afraid of the truth. Let me expand upon that one. Tom's hit it right on the head there, but there's a little bit more to it when it comes to the truth. If it's viable, if it's verifiable, if it's provable truth. If somebody is talking some nonsense and you look it up on the internet, actually on reliable sites, or even going so far as going deep into academia, and you can prove beyond shadow of a doubt that they're talking nonsense, okay, you're talking the truth. Therefore, you're a bad person because you have, you know, I guess in their mind, attempted to destroy their mindset, whatever. So, yeah, that's the whole thing. If you are if you're not afraid to tell the truth, and you've got the facts, the actual facts, verifiable facts to back you up, yeah, people don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear that. And especially, I mean, the truth, because what's that old saying? The truth hurts. And yeah, this is where the cancel culture comes in, is because the truth hurts and somebody's going to start crying and getting all offended. TFB. The Constitution gives us the right to free speech. It does not give any constitutional right to not be offended. Okay? I know there's going to be people who are going to say, yeah, well, free speech, if you say something like that, you better be prepared for the consequences. Hey, that just depends on the person. If they're telling an actual truth, and then somebody sits there and tries canceling them, it's like, oh, you're just going to have to deal with the consequences. It's like, what? The consequences of the fact that I managed to prove you to be a liar? That's what you want me canceled for? If you know the truth is the truth, be like Tom. Don't give any. Okay?
They're so fake, oh no. The forecast said that there'd be snowflakes. Whoa, you can make us see it your way. No way, gasoline and propane. More flames, oh no. No more snowflakes.
We can all get along, but there's no stopping. Everybody's wrong, that's the real problem. They don't want to hear it, but they still talking. Soon enough, we running out of options.
All right, I like that. I like that little bit of accenting in between the bars in this part of the song. It adds a nice little dimension to the music and everything. It's cool. I like that. Plus, lyrically, yeah, once again, Tom is hitting it on the mark. He's saying, people want to believe their own truths. A lot of people, when they truly believe absolute absurdity that can be proven to be wrong, yet they're still going to shout it from the rooftops, as they're stuck in their own little echo chamber, where they won't have to hear the truth. They're going to sit there with their fingers in their ears and going la 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 la. But not that I need to say say that, but yeah, Tom definitely has it there. Is the lack of openness in conversation and the deterioration of the art of debate. I think that's what's really that's what's contributing a lot to the problems we have today.
This ain't gonna end till it's in the coffin. We ain't gonna be friends till we try to squash it. I don't know how we can make amends or we drop it. Snowflakes melt when it's hot, kid.
Y'all are so fake, oh no. The forecast said that there'd be snowflakes. Whoa, you can make us see it your way. No way, gasoline and propane. More flames, oh no. No more snowflakes.
Video by Noah Rockefeller. You've done it again. The ultimate team, Tom MacDonald and Noah Rockefeller. There's just no two ways about it. And so while I am dicking around with trying to center this thing, a lot of reviewers said the same things that I did when, it's like, oh, yeah, Tom MacDonald's dropped a new track. Oh, really? What is it? Snowflakes? Oh, boy. The poop is going to hit the propeller. But, I agree with so many of his points. I mean, there's a lot to expand upon with what he's saying in the song. I mean, that's a given. But he's still speaking truth to the point. And I don't know, maybe it's just my age. I'm an old fart now. I like the song. It's, it definitely says a lot about today's society. And you know, he had a line in there about warnings, for like, epilepsy, you know, things in a show that could, bring on an epileptic fit. And then he's saying, well, now we've got freaking disclaimers and everything for everything. There is one there is one disclaimer that I actually think is good. People are so they're so, again, cancel culture. But now they want to cancel entire films that were made at a certain time in history when certain behaviors were the norm. Nobody really blinked an eye at blatant racism that was shown in films way back in the day. The attitudes towards women and, all of that. If they want to slap a disclaimer in front of all of those, fine, I don't care, because it won't offend me. It won't offend me because it's a movie, okay? It's not like, they're going to put something on TV saying, here we are in the 1960s and we've got this footage of a lynching. They're not doing that, okay? I mean, if there's going to be any lynchings or anything shown it's going to be in a movie. It's going to be choreographed. It's going to be a stunt. And they're going to make damn sure nobody gets actually hurt. It may be a period piece. Yeah, it might be racist. But how can you really discuss or learn about history if you cancel it? I don't remember the name of the person who actually came up with it first, but my paraphrasing, I agree with it. Those who do not remember the past are forever condemned to repeat it. Cancel culture's has got to go. This whole cancel culture, this hypersensitivity, these snowflakes on both sides of the spectrums, got to go. Because if we start forgetting the past, we are going to repeat the past. Anywho, that's my review, critique, analysis, whatever, of Snowflake by Tom MacDonald. Awesome. And it'd be cool if Tom would actually be able to see this video, but hey, who am I? I'm just some small-time YouTuber. But if you do see this video, if you like this video, go ahead, click the like button, click subscribe, click the notifications, because who knows? I start getting more feedback, I'll put out more videos. Alright, they're not going to be the best. I hate editing, but that's just the way it is. So, until the next video, whenever the hell that's going to be, I'm Nerikull Murakami. See ya.